Expedition 26 may bid bon voyage to the last flight of Space Shuttle Endeavour. But even with all that on the agenda, the station commander is excited to be advancing the station's use as a science laboratory.
So I see my role as, with my background as a test pilot and an engineer, is to keep the laboratories operating, empower the crew, to all of us to do great science and bring it back to our scientists here on Earth to make life better here and make our flying machines even better so we can go beyond Earth orbit.
Like all their predecessors, these station crew members are the subjects for research into how the human body behaves in the absence of gravity, particularly investigations into the mechanisms responsible for the losses in bone and muscle mass that long-duration crews experience.
It will be mostly biomed experiments. So when my body will be under, and my brains will be under investigation. Honestly speaking, I don't like very much these experiments, but I understand that this is a necessity to go further and further in space flights.
If we're going to spend several months going to another planet or somewhere else in the solar system, the last thing we want to have happen is not to be able to function once we get there. Or even worse, break your leg because you've lost so much bone density.
But the crew members have another scientific role. They are the lab assistants for the Earthbound researchers conducting dozens of experiments in a range of disciplines. Astronauts and cosmonauts carry out protocols for scientists from around the world on experiments running in lab facilities provided by the United States, Europe, Japan, and Russia. And they operate instruments aimed at the Earth to learn more about the planet.
Experiments related to geophysics, researching and observing the Earth, the radiation levels, the earthquakes. We are learning how we can predict earthquakes, the time and location.
Earth observations have been conducted from the station since the first long-duration crew came on board on November 2nd, 2000. Expedition 25 will be there to recognize the 10th anniversary of continuous crewed operations.
It's 35th anniversary from Soyuz Apollo program this year. Yeah, 10 years how we Zvezda launched from Baikonur, and 10 years how we began manned flight on ISS station. It's great, some anniversary.
Space Shuttle Discovery is due right after that anniversary. Commander Steve Lindsay's crew will deliver the Permanent Multipurpose Module, which is the cargo module Leonardo retrofitted for permanent installation on the nadir side of Unity.
It seems like the space station is really big, but when you need all the stuff you need to live there for 6 months, it gets pretty full, and having another module to help with stowage is critically important to improving our efficiency and just doing our, daily work on board.
Among the cargo inside the PMM is Robonaut 2, a 330-pound humanoid robot programmed to perform repetitive tasks on the station and free the human crew members for more complicated work, including spacewalk preparation. Skripochka and Yurchikin are on the plan for a spacewalk in November to install new hardware on the Russian segment of the station. That will come just before Yurchikin, Wheelock, and Walker return home, and Kelly becomes commander of Expedition 26. Then the flow of traffic accelerates. First, the crew is augmented with the arrival of another Soyuz spacecraft carrying cosmonaut Dmitry Kondratiev, European Space Agency astronaut Paolo Nespoli, and NASA's Katie Coleman. Then the station gets supplies deliveries from each of the uncrewed cargo vehicles now serving the station. The Russian Progress, the European Space Agency's Automated Transfer Vehicle, and the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency's H-2 Transfer Vehicle.
This is a new type of vehicle, the free flyer vehicle, which means that it doesn't dock to the station directly, but rather it approaches the station and from the station keeping close to it, and then the operator on board of the ISS uses the robotic arm to mate it to the docking mechanism.
Progress can dock in any conditions, and it can be manually controlled by the crew. ATV cannot be controlled by the crew. So we are only monitoring the automated approach and final approach, and we can only stop it to be secure.
Skripochka and Kondratiev conduct 2 more Russian segment spacewalks in January and February before the arrival of the last planned mission of Space Shuttle Endeavour. The shuttle crew will deliver supplies and attach the alpha magnetic spectrometer to the zenith side of the station's truss. This long-awaited science instrument will search for the sources of antimatter and dark matter to assist scientists looking for a clearer understanding of the origins of the universe. This mission will be notable, too, for bringing the station commander together on orbit with his twin brother, Shuttle Commander Mark Kelly.
It's actually the first time that 2, I think, blood relatives have ever been in space together. It's exciting. You know, I've obviously known my brother a really long time, and, you know, we're great friends. And it's a real privilege to share the experience with someone you're so close to.
Your mom and dad like the idea of having 2 sons off the planet at the same time?
They don't like the idea of having 1 son off the planet at any time. So, you know, they can, this can kind of stress them out a little bit.
Kelly, Kaleri, and Skripochka are due to come home shortly after that space shuttle mission wraps up, leaving behind a space station at a turning point, one that is all but complete after 10 years of construction, ready for its crews to move to full utilization to prepare us for the exploration to come.
We have learned a lot, and we will continue to learn a lot about how systems and people and how to operate in space for long periods of time, and now I think it's time to see how we can take advantage of it.
Back now with a live view of the launch site in Baikonur, we're checking